All right. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Seems there's nobody here yet, so I will just talk to myself. That's cool. All right, there we go. How's it going, guys? Hot California evening. Is it evening yet? It's just 1 p.m. and I actually live on the west side of LA, so it's usually like 10, 15 degrees cooler than everywhere else. So it's actually not so bad. On the bad days though, it gets real bad. I don't have air conditioning in my apartment and it is fucking miserable. Just like lay on the couch in your underwear and just leave a big grease stain behind when you get up. It's fucking disgusting. Yes. All right, so cat. Can you all hear me okay? Just want to make sure I'm coming through loud and clear before we get to it. All right. I'm just going to assume you guys can hear me because you're sort of responding to what I'm saying. So that's cool. All right, cool. All right, well, fuck. It's been an interesting day, interesting morning, huh? If the kitty doesn't want to be introduced right now, she looks like she's about to pounce. We'll we'll see if she decides to come over. I've got like a chair right next to me here. Oh, she's crazy. She's just a year old, so she doesn't like being picked up or, manhandled that much. Yeah, so like I said, it's been an interesting day. Some of you haven't noticed, I cat re-released Rhythm Control. It's now on Bandcamp. It is exactly the same as. Dude, this cat is just like running into my legs every 15 seconds. Yeah, so new version of Rhythm Control is out. The only difference is that I'm singing the third verse instead of the previous guest vocalist for reasons that I do not want to discuss. I guess it's not even that I don't want to discuss it. I just don't even think it's necessary. So if you haven't yet, please go to my Facebook page or my Instagram and just have a look at what I had to say. And, support support it if you like. And if not, well, you can stream it and carry on with your life and nothing will change. So, this is all I'm going to say about that. We can talk about all the other shit that y'all want to talk about, whatever you might find interesting. So, here we go. Have you seen the new Jurassic World yet? What do you think of it? Are you talking about the brand new one, which doesn't come out for 9 days? I have not seen the new Jurassic World movie, but I will absolutely go see it. I really enjoyed the last Jurassic World film. I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was fun. I mean, what else do you want from like a movie like that, right? It's dinosaurs and action. There's not really a whole lot more substance there. What is your Instagram? That's a good question. I forgot. I literally forgot what my Instagram is. Here, let me Google it. Oh, God. Oh, there you go. It's just Daniel X Graves. Yeah. Oh, where are your comments? There we go. Do you have any plans to come to Seattle anytime soon? And any cool tours planned for next year? I'll just answer both of those questions in one go. I am currently booking a tour for next year. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. I'm really, really excited about this tour. We've got some really awesome bands lined up. Some of my favorite cities in North America. And same thing in Europe. We're doing the exact same thing. It's looking like all of these tours will be announced. It'll be a couple more months, but I assure you it will be worth the wait. And if you don't want to miss out on a tour announcement, be sure to sign up for my mailing list at aesthetic-perfection.net. That way, you don't have to rely on social media to deliver the news to you, because I know that social media can make that difficult sometimes, especially with all you have to pay to reach your fans and whatnot, especially on Facebook. It's just fucking horrible. Do you already have a release date for your new album, and even a guess when it will be ready? I assume that the album will come out in January, and I believe it will be done in October. The goal is to have 20 songs mostly completed before I leave for Europe next month. And as soon as I get back, I will choose the best 10 and then produce them, properly finish them, order them, create the artwork, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's going to be cool to have that time in between finishing all the songs and then coming back to complete them or complete the album, because it'll give me some distance from the songs themselves. So I'm not you tend to get lost in your work, and sometimes it's hard to see the big picture when you're deep down in it. So I'm not going to listen to any of those songs while I'm traveling. So I'm going to get back home and listen to them with fresh ears and choose the best ones. How's the treat heating? How is the heat treating you? It is not very hot. I live in West LA. I'm right by the beach. It's pretty nice today. Favorite dinosaur? Plesiosaur. That's easy. No, Michelle, I cannot speak Danish. I've tried. It is embarrassing. I'm not even going to attempt that sentence. Looks really hard. Will there ever be a symmetric AP shirt? There's one right now that's a triangle. It's pretty symmetric, I guess. What other tattoos do I have? I have no idea. I don't even know how many tattoos I have. A lot. Is it true that you are afraid of the handicapped? What the fuck kind of question is that, dude? Not cool. Any music videos for the new album? Yes, absolutely. I will make as many music videos as I can possibly afford to make. If you want to help me do that, please check out my Patreon. That's basically how I keep going in this interesting artistic climate we have these days. Is from the support of benevolent supporters. Do you like Iggity? I have no idea what that is. I'm sitting here with my Augustiner Edelstoff. Where is your drink, man? Well, come on. I don't fuck around. It's after 12 noon. Of course I can drink. This is a braggot. It's a mixture of bead and bead. Why can't I talk today? It's a mixture of beer and mead, and it's a creation of my wife. It's and her business partners. It's pretty awesome. So, cheers, Prost. Can you tell us what Icebreaker song you remixed? Yes, it is Automat. I turned in the final today. Pretty excited. That's why I took the day off to start all this internet drama and live stream with you guys because I've been working my goddamn ass off and I need a break. And by getting a break, I mean that yeah, I do this social media insanity, and then I will vacuum, and then maybe I will play video games. We'll see. Lola, when will tank tops be available in your online shop? Actually, I have a question for you guys. What kind of tank top do you prefer? Do you like the more tight-fitted one, or do you like them a little bit more loose? My wife and I were trying to figure out which ones to order because I've got a brand new design that I'm ready to print. I just can't decide what kind of tank to put it on. So please give me your opinion. I would love to know. Do you like The Office? Yes, I used to watch The Office, but I just don't have as much time for TV shows as I would like. I barely have the chance to really sit down and watch the shows that like I love. And I haven't watched The Office for a long time. When can you hear the Icebreaker remix? I don't know. You have to ask Icebreaker. It's coming out on their retrospective disc that they're planning soon. I mean, the deadline was today. I believe it will be on their next release. No, I've not had any other drinks today. I had a shitload of coffee. This is my first relaxing beverage of the day. But of course, I'm also prepared with some LaCroix because, you know, that's me. I don't like this flavor, but my wife wanted to try it, so whatever. What is your stance on IPAs? They are fucking foul. They are disgusting. And I hate them. Wow, that's a lot of votes for tight-fitting tank tops. Yeah, see, I was thinking about a racerback. Tight, 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 tight. They want them tight. All right, I was really close to getting. I was really close to ordering the racerback, so I think I made the right decision, huh? Or I think I made the right decision in asking you guys first. Have you ever done a show with Aria? Yes, I played with her in Canada a few years ago. Terminus Festival, great festival, coming up here next month, I think, in what's the city? Calgary. Yes. How much do you send every track to the reverb bus? You need to do that, like, you need to choose that based on what the song requires, because some songs need a little more room ambience, other ones need less. That's a taste thing. You can't ever just go like, you can't make a general rule for that. Did you say something about the Bye 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 video? No, I didn't say anything about it, but it's going to come out next month. It's ready to go. And, yeah. Stop it. Lactose intolerant? Absolutely not. I drink... actually, I don't drink that much dairy. But I'm not lactose intolerant. Oh, I eat a fuckload of cheese. Yeah. Was Love Like Lies inspired by Mein Teil, the Rammstein song? No. No, not at all. Because the songs are about two totally different things. I mean, obviously, I can't say for sure what Rammstein was trying to say with that song, but I think it's pretty clear if you speak German and you understand. Yeah, so Mein Teil and Love Like Lies are two totally different things. Will you do another collab with Commie Christ? Maybe. We'll see. I would love to hear you do something with Evanescence or Disturbed or Korn. Yeah, sure. Have them call me. I'm down for all these things. I'm not well connected. I don't know these guys. If you know them, have them call me. Have their people call my people. Because my people are just me. I don't have any managers or anything like that. Would you ever do a collaboration with Cell Dweller? Sure, absolutely. Have them call me. Do you know Steam Powered Giraffe? I've never heard of that ever. That's an interesting name, though. That's fun. Will you show up Friday to the Commie Cry show in Atlanta? No, I am in LA, and I will be staying here. Mein Teil means, well, he means like my dick, my piece. Oh, yeah, right. I see what you mean. The marching drum thing. How the verse in Mein Teil has the sort of march drum as well as Love Like Lies. No, that's just a coincidence. Yes, that's correct. Mein Teil is about the German cannibal. How about Blue Stolly? I can spam him. Please don't spam anybody. Remember when that band, Programmable Animal or whatever, fucking spam me and how nightmarish that was? Let's not do that to anybody else. Let's let these collaborations happen organically. I think that's the most important thing here. Don't worry, guys. I got a lot of good people set up for this next record. A lot of friends, a lot of really talented guys and gals. So I promise it's gonna be good. I don't know how I can show you my kitty if I can't even see her. She's around. Mara, the internet wants to see you. Sorry, I did my best. Do you like steampunk? I mean, sure. I don't know. It's cool. I really appreciate their attention to detail. It's not really like my style. You know, I'm just sort of like a wannabe Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, and that suits me just fine. Would you ever sing in Spanish? Absolutely not, because no hablo español. I know I live in LA. I know that I should speak Spanish. I would love to be able to, but I'm having a hard enough time with German, and I've been doing that for 10 years. Would you ever do a remix or collaboration with Ghost BC? I think you're talking about that Swedish band Ghost? Yes, please. Have them call me. Why are you all asking about like collaborations? Is there nothing else that's interesting to talk about? Hello, back to Montana. Would you like to do more covers of old pop songs? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's I'm into all those sort of things. It's just there's only so many hours in the day. I need time. And I don't have a whole lot of that. Can you speak another language? Yes, I speak German. Not perfectly, but it does the job. It gets me by. I can talk to my in-laws and I can talk to, you know, restaurant people. Have you ever played Crash Bandicoot? What an odd question. Yeah, I mean, I played Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation like 20 years ago. I haven't thought about Crash Bandicoot in like ages. Wow, getting heavy here. Pro-life or pro-choice? I am pro-choice. I do not think that someone should just use abortion as some, birth control method, but I think that there are very legitimate reasons why a woman would want to do that, and it's not my fucking business anyways. So I'm all about bodily autonomy. I think people should be able to do pretty much whatever the fuck they want. Yes, we have. Well, okay. So, will you tour Florida again? Yes, absolutely. I've already booked the Florida shows for the next tour, so keep an eye out for that. It was quite a pity about the Grendel tour, but what can I do? I didn't have a band, and I didn't have time to put one back together. So I promise I'm going to make it up to you guys. This tour is going to be awesome. I'm not going to reveal who the support acts are just yet, but I promise it's going to be fucking killer. Ja, Daniel Grebe. Ja, das stimmt. Freust du dich auf das Meerlune in Deutschland? Ja, sicher. Ich freue mich immer auf die Konzerte in Deutschland. Describe your new album with 3 words. Totally fucking different. But I mean, it's me. What else do you expect? Did you see Hereditary? No, not yet. So please, no spoilers. I don't get to go to the movies very often. I just saw Solo like 5 days ago. So, Thoughts on the festival scene here in the U.S.? We've got Cold Waves and DOS Bunker Anniversary, but that's it. What would it take to have a successful one here? I think America's biggest obstacle is the fact that a lot of these festivals are held in places that are usually 21 and over, or at least 18 and over, and all the festivals in Europe are all ages. We need to sort out that. Europe is way smaller than America, so you have less distances to travel for people from out of town. It's like if a festival is taking place in LA, it's not easy for somebody in New York or Chicago to get there. And I think the biggest thing, found it. It doesn't want it, but I got it. Look, I think the biggest thing that the scene needs is a really popular band to bring in new blood, because the scene has remained pretty stagnant for the last fucking 20 years. I mean, fuck, I go to clubs and I hear the same songs that I did in 2004 when I was going to the clubs. It's insane. So yeah, we need an injection of some fresh blood to really get things moving. Did you find it hard to integrate in Germany? Yes, it was very, very difficult. And I can only imagine how much more difficult it would be if I was in a non-Western country like Delhi or something. Like, Germany's still the West. It's not that different, right? But I had a really, really hard time living there. I had a really, really hard time living in Austria. But after, I would say, 4 years, I felt like I kind of like understood the people, the mentality, the work ethic, all that kind of stuff. And then once I assimilated to that, it got a lot easier. And ironically, once I came back home, I thought that it would be wonderful, right? I just felt alone here because I'm kind of torn between two places now. So I live, think, and kind of like operate in a very Austrian way, but also a very American way. So when I'm, oh, hello. When I'm in Austria, I wish I wish I was in America, and when I'm in America, I wish I was in Austria. So, please don't go. No, those are brand new T-shirts. Get out of there. She's trying to get into the box of the brand new T-shirts, and she's bringing me toys. Someone really doesn't want me to be. Look at how disgusting that is. Ugh. She puts these in her food and water dish. It's, horrible. Any shows planned for Ohio? Yes, indeed. Can you tell us when the tour will be happening? No, I will let you just wait and see. I don't know if you've been asked already, but what's your take on the William Control situation? I posted a big, long rant today on my Facebook and Instagram, kind of detailing my thoughts on this whole situation. I think it's best to refer you there rather than try and like rehash the whole thing here. So go over to my Facebook page, read that post, and then you'll be up to speed. Rice or fries? I mean, it depends on what I'm eating. I don't want to eat rice with a burger, but I don't want to eat fries with Chinese food. So, Would there be a possibility of you to perform in Reno, Nevada? I don't know. That's not really a huge market. I mean, Las Vegas is really a tough market to play in. I'm sure Reno's even harder. Will you come to Croatia? I haven't played in Croatia in years, but actually when I lived in Austria, I would vacation in Croatia a lot. It's like my favorite place to go in the Mediterranean. Like, I think people always want to go to Italy or Greece or Spain. Nice places, don't get me wrong, but Croatia is definitely like my Mediterranean hotspot's like my favorite. You should sell some special edition shirts pre-covered in cat hair. Well, I used to do that when I ran all the merchandise from my apartment here. My old cat, Vonnegut, he would go and lie on top of everything. So every time I would get an order, I would be like frantically, with the lint roller trying to get all of his fucking fur off of everything. Luckily, I moved it away, so it's very rarely that I have merchandise in the home. How do you actually cope with partially super understandable Austrian dialects? I basically can't understand any Austrian dialect except for Upper Austrian. Maybe Viennese, but they have a lot of weird words that I can't follow. You can... Oh, Canton. I can understand the people in Canton because they talk so slow. It's great. You can forget about Tyrol. You can forget about what's the one over by Switzerland? Like, I keep wanting to say Ingolstadt, but that's not it. Whatever, the Austrian city that's like close to Switzerland with the I. Can't understand them. Are you coming to Vienna next year? We will see. Almost all of those shows for Europe have been booked, and I will make the announcement as soon as I get the okay from my booking agent. Oh, actually, I'm not even allowed to announce the German. You know what? That's why we haven't announced it, because Mariluna. I can't announce any German dates until after Mariluna. I look like Chester Bennington. I mean, I'm a skinny guy with tattoos and a shaved head, I guess. He was a better singer and way more fit than I am, though. I always play in Virginia. Any chance we'll see you in Virginia? Yeah, I just booked a show in Richmond for the next tour. Don't worry. Oh, yes, we're coming to Portland. Would you consider doing any more of the worst of videos? Yes, absolutely. It's just a matter of time. I need an assistant or something, because there just aren't enough hours in the day to do all the things that I want to do. If I had all the time in the world, I would have side projects. I would have way more YouTube videos, way more series, all that kind of shit. I would be writing, because I really like writing. Yeah. No, not for Alberg. Ugh, God, do I have to look at an Austrian map? Austria. Yeah, German-speaking country, Central Europe. Yeah, I get it. I know. Ich weiß schon. Wo ist das? Innsbruck. Innsbruck. That's what I was trying to... Yeah. Do you like synthwave? Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's okay. I'm not huge on nostalgia. I think these nostalgia genres aren't really kind of pushing music forward or taking us anywhere new, right? It's just kind of taking the past and giving it a little bit of a facelift, which is cool, which is fine. But I'm more interested in people that want to do something totally different. So yeah, I like Carpenter Brut. I think a lot of the synthwave has a lot of great ideas in terms of production, and something that a person like me can benefit from. But it's not something that I listen to in my downtime. What kinds of games are you playing? I only play Call of Duty Free for All. I play nothing else. Do you like noise music? Absolutely not. I like pop music. I do not like anything that doesn't have hooks or a great production or anything like that. I'm sorry to say. I mean, look, I totally respect like Coil and Throbbing Gristle and Nurse with Wound and all that kind of shit. Like, I value it for its impact in musical history, especially in this genre. But I cannot fucking listen to a single note of it. Did you ever have a live journal or a blogger? Yeah, I did, but I never really used it. I never put time into any of that kind of stuff, because I was more interested in expressing myself with music and not blog posts. So yeah, I deleted that thing like 10 years ago. Have you ever played Resident Evil? Yeah, sure. I mean, I played Resident Evil when it came out. I think the last Resident Evil game I played was in 2011 when I was working on All Beauty Destroyed. I played through Resident Evil 4, like the whole campaign, which was weird because I like never finish any campaigns ever. Would you ever do a song with Davey Havok? Yes, absolutely. Have him call me. Top 5 current artists you've been listening to. All right. Let's see. What is on my... What is on my Spotify? Okay. Spotify doesn't tell me what my top artists are right now. I've been listening to Architects, as always. I was just listening to V&V Nation, the Empire's EP. Or Burning Empire's EP. I listened to Burns, or Borns, however you want to pronounce it. I listened to Every Time I Die, and Lil Xan, because he's from Redlands, and I'm also from Redlands. Favorite horror movie is absolutely The Shining. Would you ever do a cover of any Christian death songs? I don't know a single Christian death song. I don't know a single one. Have you ever been starstruck? Yeah. Okay, that's a funny story. I used to work at Guitar Center in Hollywood, which is, for those of you who aren't American, it's a music instrument retail chain. And Trent Reznor was actually my customer for the longest time. And he didn't know me by name, but his manager knew me by name. So he'd call me and be like, hey, Trent's coming in and he needs blah, 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 blah. Now, the thing with Guitar Center is they would tell you, if you fanboy on anybody, give them a demo, talk to them about their music, you get fired immediately. So I remember some guy got fired because he gave the guitarist from Limp Bizkit a demo. And this was still fresh in my mind. And yeah, so Trent Reznor was coming in from time to time, and Kevin Key from Skinny Puppy and stuff. And I was always like, yeah, cool. Okay, whatever. And it made me a little proud that Trent's manager would call me and say, hey, we need some shit. But the one time I risked my job to fucking shake somebody's hand was Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman, the president from Independence Day, and the love interest during While You Were Sleeping, which is one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite rom-coms. He was standing there waiting for one of my colleagues to get him his purchase or whatever, and I was just like looking around, making sure no managers were there. And I was like, yo, dude, you're Bill Pullman. I just got to shake your hand. And he was like, oh, yeah, man, that's cool. It's no problem. And I didn't get fired for that. I got fired later for something else. But I was so fucking stoked to meet Bill Pullman. Couldn't believe it. I still remember that, like, get a big grin because I love Bill Pullman. Will your album be full on loudness wars mode? I mean, look, it's electronic music. It's heavy. I love highly compressed loud music. It's not going to be to the point that like certain EDM is, where you're just like, oh my God, I can't even listen to this, or that Green Day record. But it's going to be loud. Let's see. Do you have a replacement for Tim yet? No, I do not. But we do have a temporary replacement for Europe. You'll just have to wait and see who that is. Do you like churches? Sure. Churches are fine. Most annoying moment in your music career? Far too many. I'm trying to think of one right now. I'll get back to you if I can come up with something. Any chance making something with Ludovico technique again? I mean, maybe. We'll see. First job. I was, I did sales at Guitar Center. I was a dishwasher at an Italian restaurant. and I was a like tech or return specialist for this company that makes like extenders for TV and video and stuff like that. Same birthday as Trent Reznor. That's awesome. I don't know what day it is, but can you reveal the name of your upcoming album? I will not do that. If you are a Patreon supporter, though, there are hints. There's actually even a picture of my like progress board that says the name of the album and all of the song titles. So if you want to get a glimpse into, you know, what I'm got going on behind the scenes, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter, because, you know, it's how it's funding this whole thing. Is I think most people know. Some people don't know. I am 100% independent. I have no manager, no label, no investors, no source of outside funds, just you guys. What warm-ups do you do before you sing? Before I go on stage, I do about like half an hour of standard warm-ups that kind of like cover all of the different things that I need to sing. When I go into the studio every day, I warm up or practice with exercises that are kind of designed to focus on what I want to improve for that day. So like, you know, oh, are we going to work on soft breathy stuff today? Or are we going to work on belting? Or are we going to work on distortion or whatever? So I think about that every day, and I try not to over warm up, because then you just get tired and you also get bored. Practicing, like focusing and practicing is hard, and it takes a lot of mental energy. And if you're not doing it focused, then you might as well not be doing it at all. Ada, I'm proud to be a patron. Thank you so much, Ada. That's awesome. Have you ever watched True Blood? No, I have not. What do you think of Cholo Goth? Specifically prayers. Is that a legit genre? I mean, what? Time will tell if it's a legit genre. Like, you know, Throbbing Gristle came up with the term industrial, and who knew if it was ever going to work? It's as real as the fans make it. So it's not up to me to decide. Out of all your tattoos, which one means the most to you? I have to be brutally honest here. My tattoos don't really mean anything to me. I never saw tattoos as some sort of deep, meaningful form of expression. It's really just, I get stuff because I think it's cool. Like, I get stuff that reflects me at the time. So, you know, I've got all this like old school horror movie stuff here. That's stuff that I liked when I was a teenager. I don't care about that stuff at all anymore. But now I'm quote unquote stuck with these tattoos for the rest of my life, right? But the way that I view it is that they are representative of the person that I used to be. So it kind of tells the story of my evolution as a person and my growth and my interests and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just get stuff that I like, stuff that I think is pretty or interesting or fun or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of my tattoo philosophy. Technically, you were in choir. No, I was never in choir. I don't have any formal music training. I've taken vocal lessons, but this was like all way after high school. You are a proud Inland Empire product. Damn fucking right. I am. Well, I'm actually from Orange County, but I was practically raised and cut my teeth in the 909 in Redlands. So Redlands represent. Hast du Lampenfieber? Ich habe keine Ahnung, was Lampenfieber ist. I don't have any lamps that are making me sick or feverish, so I don't know. Were you in band or orchestra when you were in school? Yeah, same answer. I have no formal music training. I just really kind of. Are you serious? It's laying on its back with its paws in the air like this. I think it really wants attention. It wants me to stop doing this. So there's only 15 more minutes. It's fine. Then I can give you attention, you stupid prima donna. Ah, Lampenfieber. Stage fright. Interesting. Okay. Uh, yes, I still have stage fright. I get it all the time. Uh, but I think that it's important to always, well, for one, I think if you don't get some form of anxiety or stage fright before you go on, it means you don't care. And I think that once you stop caring, you should stop doing it, because if you're not concerned about being the best that you can, then why are you doing it? Sorry, beer makes me. Uh, but other people in Germany say that I look like a Rampensau, so somebody that loves the limelight. I think it's a little bit of both, you know. Like I like the attention. I like the positive feedback, of course, because, you know, I'm a front man. I have like this delicate ego that needs to constantly be reassured. It's like, hey, you don't suck. You're not terrible. You know, so that's why we do this, right? But I both love and hate being on stage. But I guess that's kind of the curse, right? Have you ever had depression, and if so, how did you break out of it? I don't think that I've ever had to struggle with any sort of like clinical depression. I think I face a lot of pessimism. And I often feel depressed and defeated about life and the world in general. Hi, cat. And I think I spent far too much time focusing on all of that really negative shit. But since I'm negative, ow, it's biting me. Since I'm negative by nature, I think it really was a challenge to stop or to break out of that really negative mindset. So, you know, I get depressed a lot. I get frustrated a lot. But I think that actively trying to have a positive outlook has been really, really beneficial for me. Not only as a person, but just like for my career. It was just a couple of years ago that I decided to kind of like shift my perspective, and actually not even shift my perspective. It was shift my actions. And as I shifted my actions to a much more positive way, I found that I got conditioned to think more positive and to behave in a much more positive way, which was just so therapeutic and, you know, helped every aspect of my life. Like I said, my career is just like things have been going so much better for me since I stopped being a goddamn entitled asshole. So, you know. How many belly rubs does she allow? She actually lets me rub her belly quite a lot, so I'm lucky. What about your music yourself? What about your music itself? I'm an artist and I hate everything I sing. Do you have that problem? Absolutely. I hate almost everything I do, especially when it's done. Like, you know, you get the initial idea and you're like, fuck, this is so dope. And then, like, as time wears on and by the time you're finished with it, if you're lucky, you're lukewarm about it. And if it's like it usually is, you fucking hate it and then you hate yourself and then you're just like, I'm shit. Why do I do this? I'm garbage. Nobody cares. Blah, 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 blah. But I think what separates a true artist from an amateur or, you know, somebody who dabbles is the fact that you understand that your work is never going to um, reach or exceed your expectations. But that's what keeps you striving to be better. And so you just have to accept that even if it isn't good enough for you, it's probably good enough for everybody else. And so you just got to finish it and release it, put it out to the world, dust your hands of it, and move on to the next project. I think everyone, myself included, you get somehow caught up in this notion that like every single thing that you do has to be amazing, because it's not going to be. I mean, look at all of the world's greatest artists. Like, look at how prolific they were. Look at how much work they produced, and how many works are they remembered for? A handful, if they're lucky. It's like Picasso painted so many paintings that nobody knows or gives a shit about. The only reason they're valuable now is because of the 5 or 6 paintings that Picasso's famous for today. Think about it that way. Just like, who gives a shit? Just finish it and move on. Let history decide the rest. How old is Mara now? Mara is 1. She's sleeping. Joe Letts asks, how long on average do you think it's okay to go without showering? And during these times, do you find that you wash your hands extra? If so, what type of soap do you use? Well, Joey, I think that, are we talking on tour or in everyday life? Because if you're on tour, you get 3 days. 3 days is like the maximum allotted time for not showering. When you're at home, you get a day and a half. Any more than that, and, I start thinking less of you as a person. However, I do try to wash my hands as often as possible. I started washing my face recently when I wake up in the morning. I don't know why I started doing that, but, you should do a live stream with your wife. My wife is shy. She has no interest in any of this kind of stuff. Could we see the return of screams and growls in the new album? The new album is definitely heavier than Till Death. I'll just leave it at that. How does your creative process begin? I have to take myself to a negative place mentally, and when I come out, I have a great song. How does your creative process work? I think I've gotten to a point where I can separate like who I am from day to day from who is in the music, if that makes any sense. Like, I take all of that sort of negativity that I was discussing earlier, like all of that shit that I have, and I cut it out of my daily life, and I compartmentalize it so it's just kind of stored in some area in my brain where it doesn't affect my daily life, and then I can use it for creativity. So I actually don't feel unhappy or upset when I'm creating, but I'm often shocked by the stuff that I come up with, because I'm like, damn, dude, you're kind of fucked up. What made you say that? Why are you thinking that way? That's really dark. But it's not stuff that I really grapple with in my everyday life. And I think it's because I have that outlet. If I didn't have it, things might be a lot different. I wouldn't be able to compartmentalize it in the way that I do. And I think that I think my life would be a whole hell of a lot worse for it. So, yeah, that's kind of how it works for me. How was high school? I don't know. I dropped out. If that answers your question. I didn't really drop out. I tested out at 16 because I don't know, like the school format just didn't work for me. And so by the time that I got to high school, I just didn't do my homework. I didn't take the tests. I had all Fs. Like it was really, really bad. So I wasn't going to graduate. So the only way for me not to fail out of high school was to test out. So at 16, when I was at the end of my sophomore year, I took the equivalency exam and I was out. Where did you and your wife meet, and was she a fan? Was she a fan? Now I kind of wish she was here so she could laugh at that. My wife doesn't like music. My wife doesn't care about music at all. I met my wife because some Austrian people were randomly at a show that I played with Combi Christ back in 2004, 5? Yeah, the end of 2004. And these Austrian people, I randomly ran into them at Wave Gothic Treffen, and they said, hey, come party with our group, our clique. So I did, and there was a quiet little Austrian girl there that I thought was really cute. And I tried to talk to her, and she wasn't interested because she didn't like musicians, and she didn't like Americans. But now she's my wife, so fuck her. No, I'm just kidding. Can you make another behind the scenes video? Yes, absolutely. I plan on doing that very soon. Just need the time to do it. Any suggestions for someone who wants to learn how to scream without hurting their voice? Yeah, it's really, really difficult. It is something that I think everybody who does like heavy or extreme vocals has to grapple with, because it's really, really hard to do it without any level of discomfort, or let's say like you notice what you've been doing afterwards. I think Melissa Cross's Zen of Screaming is a good place to start. However, it doesn't kind of like cover, I think, a lot of the things that I find very important, like small vocal tract, a lot of support, flat, soft palate, raised larynx, all that kind of stuff. Favorite Danish beverage? Oh, the licorice vodka. That's my favorite. Original Blå. That's my favorite Danish stuff. Why don't you live stream on Instagram? Because I don't know. I do it. I do it sometimes. This is just easier and the quality's better. When will you give us an auto-tune song? Well, I mean, all of my songs have auto-tune to some degree. I don't like the heavily auto-tuned like T-Pain stuff though. It's kind of whack. All right, so we've been doing this for an hour, and I said I would do it for an hour. But if there's any other questions you guys want to ask, I'll stick around for a few more minutes and try and rapid fire them off. Have you ever had trouble screaming to the point where you had to stop singing for a while? I mean, the thing with singing is that you need to know when you've reached your limits, and singing and screaming in general is incredibly demanding and makes you tired. So every day I make it a point to recognize when my voice is getting tired and I say stop. And I just don't sing or practice or anything anymore. And that's hard to do. I used to not do it. I used to say like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get it. And then I would just like blow my voice out and not be able to sing for days. But now I think I'm a lot more like in tune with my body and what my limits are and when I need to say enough. I've never had a vocal injury though that's required me to like stop singing for an extended period of time. Thank God. Where do you usually come up with the concepts for your videos? I don't know. They're usually coming out of nightmares or paintings or I don't know. I usually just basically I have like a note in my phone where I just like write down all of my music video ideas, and then I like approach directors. I'm like, hey man, you want to make something weird like this? How do you choose the songs to make videos for? I actually don't know. I just kind of, I don't fucking know. I just figure it out. Will you ever do a short film or movie? Who knows? Time will tell. I would love to. It's just, I don't think I have the skills for that. I would need to partner with like a director or something. I'd love to see more stuff like your rhythm control breakdown video. If you could just afford time for stuff like that, that would be great. Well, I would like to do more stuff like that. That took a couple of days of my time. If you really want to help me keep creating stuff, please consider checking out my Patreon. It's like how this whole project stays afloat. And obviously, the more supporters that I have, the less I need to count on outside projects to pay the bills, right? So it's like I'm currently producing a singer-songwriter. I'm currently mixing another band's album. I'm currently doing remixes as well as trying to work on my album. And, you know, that's how this works. Like, you know, I'm not just sitting around every day like, what do I do today? I'm literally like working every day until like 10 or 11 p.m. So, you know, it's your guys' support that allows me to focus on aesthetic perfection. So just something to think about. Have you ever thought about doing an album related to Grimm Brothers like Big Bad Wolf? I don't typically take inspiration from fantasy stuff like that. The reason that I did Big Bad Wolf was because it really resonated with me personally. However, I think, you know, more stuff like that is not, it's a little too whimsical for me. We'll see though. You know, I don't want to say no to something because anything's possible, right? Favorite DAW, that would be Logic. Forgot to ask, what address to use for sending fan gifts? Well, you can send fan gifts to 149 South Barrington Avenue, box 663. I was really hoping for 666, but they said no. Los Angeles, California 90049. There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. It's always a pleasure doing these live streams with you. I think it's a great way for us to all kind of like connect and, you know, just remind one another that we're all real people here. And I think that's really cool. I think all too often people kind of get caught up in the fan-artist relationship and believe that there's some sort of distance there, when in my mind there isn't. It's just like we're all people trying to get by and figure things out. And, you know, I'm incredibly grateful to have you guys in my life and for all the support that you give me. And I'm not blind to the fact that that's what allows me to live this life and to keep creating. So I'm forever grateful to you guys. Thank you for hanging out. you know, we'll do this again sometime. I'm always around, and I'll archive this, and you know, you can watch it. And yeah, you know where to fucking find me. You know, email address, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. I'm all over the place. Cheers, and talk to you guys soon.